And Explode Systems creates these explosion images, which we're going to add to the scene with additive blending because, trust me, it'll look a lot better. So as the explosions layer over top of each other, they'll kind of get more intense. That's why we like to use the additive blending for that. Same with what we're doing with the fire. So under Draw Overlaps of Edit Mode Only, we got that Draw Additive Effects. We'll have to change blend mode, so we'll say sprite batch.end, and I'll just take this out from here and put it right after Draw Overlaps. And we'll do a new sprite batch.begin, right sort mode, deferred, use a blend state, additive, and we can say sampler state, linear clamp, and the rest we'll leave as defaults. And we'll say sprite batch.end, and then resume with the previous style of drawing. So we'll just copy it from up here, which would be the alpha blend mode, and we'll put it here. Then we can say explodesys.draw. Go into the player class next, and we'll go into the variables, down into where it says spells in effect. In there, we'll put explodesys, explode, and we needed to pass in access to that explosion system that's being shared between monster and player. Down here in the constructor, assign explode to be equal to the explosion system we passed in. Next, we can go down to hero damaged, and when he runs out of life, HUD.life is less than 0, we can add an explosion using explode.add explosion at the hero's position. Then go into monster system, and in other variables, we'll add explodesys, so you'll have access to it. Then move down a bit to the constructor. We can pass it in here as x, and then down under player we'll add explode is equal to ex. And in add monster, we'll give it direct access to explosion by passing in explode into there. So now we can go into monster, and we'll go to the top of that, and we'll give it a reference for explode. Right after this boolean must finish animation, let's add explode sys explode. We can go down to the constructor and add it into the end of the list of our units for constructor. Explode sys x ex. Under player, we'll put explode equals ex. Now we'll go down in search of monster damage, and where it has if life is less than or equal to 0, we'll add an explosion here right before the explosion sound. Explode.add explosion at position. And we'll save that and build it. Everything seems to work fine. We'll go up to the top of game 1, and we'll just turn off this define for show player collider because we don't need to see that, and we'll try it out like that. So if he hit E for editor, if you want to do any editing. If you want to do a new map, you'll actually have to go into here and say change this to like level 2. If you ever mess up a map, you can get it from the backup txt. Hit editor. Oh yeah, you don't want to add monsters too close to the wall. Having a sheet that has which button does what written down actually really helps. Even a little diagram showing what each button is a picture of. You could also create a graphical user interface in here to simplify things quite a bit. So you can just pick your images right off a sheet. We'll add a monster. We'll add someone right here. This guy. This guy. We'll rotate that one, scale it, and use the right numpad arrows to move it into place. And we'll use the page up to put this tree in front of him. We'll put this rose down behind him. I'm gonna rotate it. By using different tiles, you can add a lot of stuff together. Let's hit enter. Oh, if you want to see the colliders, you can hit F12. And you can modify those using... Well, you can add extra ones using insert. So if I wanted so I could stand in this tree, I could hit the insert key. So I'll hit enter to try that out. And it doesn't look like I started the level in the correct position. If you hold shift, you can go through the level quicker. So I'll set the starting location right here and hit enter. I'm probably going to change that chainsaw sound, so if you ever download the sample of the game, or the source files, it will probably be fixed. Don't forget to save your level. Looks like I got some extras here. Extra solid ones that shouldn't be here. Use the delete key to get rid of those. So saving over Lev 2, I'll hit $sign. It says saved at 422. So when I run it now in play mode, it should be on that new level. We're gonna go back to level 1. I was gonna make it so you can't duck while you're falling, but I actually kind of like that, and it reduces the damage you can take. So the next challenge is to make it fun. Right now it's very generic, so you want to add traps and puzzles and blocks you can push, things you can break, things you can discover, secret areas you can get to, secret items you can get, and a compelling emotional story usually helps. Something that really drives your character and makes you want to find out what's going to happen. And chain reactions are nice too. If you got different play mechanics that can chain react. And ways of making your character more powerful or faster can also make them more fun to play with. If they can do flips and kind of cool tricks, really neat magic. Or if they can even get like a pet and they can upgrade it, give it experience points, give it their own name, customizations. Well, that's it for my tutorial series for making platform games using monogame. I hope you enjoyed it.